Currently in progress, episode 18. This episode is a special edition, being that this is the one podcast I got while I was on the road for my graduation trip that I went on. Our two guests are Justin and Emma, fellow shuttle bus riders and van lifers. We got the opportunity to meet back up at a BLM spot after adventuring through Zion National Park. We got the campfire set up and the microphone ready. And now this is currently in progress, episode 18. Stay tuned.
Must be dude slinging.
For sure.
Yeah, I think white girls are like, oh, we're good.
Ooh, there we go. The fire is
Don't let that
started.
shit get caught. That
I
would
know.
suck. How much was that?
Just the mic was 100.
You
Oh,
just put that thing over it. It's like a condenser.
Yeah, this one's just for the wind and shit.
Oh yeah.
Well, we want like a mic for the camera because we want to do like vlogs on the camera.
Yeah.
the camera isn't that bad.
You gotta get the road. You gotta get the road stuff.
Yeah.
I got the road mic on top.
In the bus.
No, on my camera.
Oh.
Look at it go.
And the smoke's going away. We're
Yeah.
golden.
Once it really burns, it doesn't put off that much smoke.
Quality.
Just a turn, just let it.
I know, but I just wanted to make sure that it wouldn't.
A metal piece of wood probably really dropped in last night.
It was a lot.
Do you think going up on Angel's Landing was worse or going down?
Going up was way worse.
Yeah.
Going down was so fast.
And it was fun too.
I figured
For
on
me
our
it
way
was.
on our way up, we were like going down's gonna be shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it
like honestly, like you just gotta get your footing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's all it is. You gotta just step in the right spot and you're solid.
Yeah, I think going up you're like, okay, timid, you don't really know what to do. And then you come down and then you're like, oh, this is exciting.
Yeah, it's so easy at that point once you
Yeah.
kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
And honestly, like me and a couple other guys were just like, I mean, going up, we were just ripping. Like it wasn't even like it's not that scary, honestly.
Did y'all go with,
I'm not a big fan of
or
it.
did y'all like,
It wasn't that bad, but
It's not. Yeah, I mean, like if you keep your head just right at the
Yeah,
trail and you look
straight.
at where your next step is.
yeah. If you're looking like, if you get on the edge and then look down, it's
Oh.
scary. But other than that, it's fine.
The only time it really got me was like it was one section that like the chains got rid of,
Yep.
and then like you just had to walk across, and I was like, I looked down when there was no
I was like,
chain.
babe,
I was like,
just keep your head
Yeah,
on
just-
one,
yeah.
one foot in front of the other.
There was one lady like right almost towards the top, and she was like crawling. And there's like you're like it's a standing point,
Yeah.
like it's a pretty easy spot.
Yeah.
She's sitting there just crawling.
I think
and
I
I'm
know
like,
what spot you're talking
I'm
about.
like, you got like
So many people behind you.
no, not even that.
Oh.
But I was like, you're almost there. Like
Yeah.
you're so close. Like just go push through it. There's
That's
one of the handles was like loose.
Yeah,
That's right at that. It was
Yeah.
right
Oh
at
my
that
god,
part.
that made me so nervous. I just
Yes.
held on to the rest of it.
Yeah.
I went way left and I just walked up without even using it. I was like, no, we're not even gonna touch that
I
thing.
thought about that, but then I was like, I'd
there a-
rather just hold on to
Was
something.
there a book bag still on the trail?
A
There was,
what?
like- there was
A
just
black book bag?
there
Was
was-
there anything over there?
I was gonna say like who?
Justin was like, oh, I want this book bag. I'm like, that's not yours.
it stayed there all damn day.
Yeah, no, it did. There was an old man who, like, well, we talked about it yesterday, but he made me really nervous because he's
Oh,
older
yeah.
and he had, like, scratches on his knees, and I think it's from him falling.
Oh,
I'm like, if this man can do it, so can I.
yeah.
But I was like,
When he
these
got to
people
the
got
top,
balls,
his legs
though.
were shaking though. Like,
Yeah, I'm like,
Dang.
the older people doing it, I'm like, oh my god,
Yes.
y'all really have so many balls.
That's some nuts for that one.
Like
Yeah.
it's. I mean, there's a couple points where your knee has to get like up into your chest.
Yeah.
To like actually get up to the next spot.
There's some spots you gotta crawl.
Yeah.
Like,
We went down to, like, where the, what's it called? The Narrows would be.
Yeah.
Today.
And like basically when you're looking at the mountain, you're like, oh, like the Angel's Landing mountain or canyon, you're like, there's no fucking way somebody could go up there. And it blows my mind the angle that you're at, like it just looks
Yeah. They were,
incredibly steep. Like even from where you're walking to the bridge to back to the like point to go on the bus.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it looks pretty tall. But we went like up to, where you could see a different angle. And I'm like, there's no fucking way we went up that damn thing.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, yeah.
We were on the shuttle
Yeah.
today, and he was pointing it out. He's like, "That's Angel's Landing," and we were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it's crazy. And then like there was an old man going down, and poor old dude, he just took his time. And I was like, I don't want to be rude and pass him, but I was like,
Yeah,
I can't
too.
take my time anymore.
Yeah, we gotta get one. No, you guys are right about running down.
Yeah.
You just run.
You just drop, like you
it
sit there
hurts
and you
your
just.
knees too bad.
Yeah, you literally just fall down, like controlled fall the whole way.
Hold on, what was that? What
I think it was a dog.
I thought it was
Is
a
that a
dog going
Sasquatch?
crazy. No, I think it was a dog.
I
Well,
bet.
apparently there was a bobcat on the mountain, like when we were coming down from but we didn't see it. I mean, we wanted to, but he had said that we had just missed it.
Missed it.
Yeah.
Did you see condors while you're up there?
No, he kept talking about it like he was. You know how the bus drivers don't talk and you're
Yeah.
not supposed to talk to them.
Mhm.
Well, this man was talking about everything and anything, and giving us a tour of everything.
Yeah, he should have been a tour bus driver. more
Yeah,
than
I
a
was like,
shuttle bus.
thanks, man. But he gave me all this information about, or gave everybody all this information about the condors, and
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it.
It was cool,
Are
right?
they
When-
huge?
Yeah, they're
massive.
pretty big.
So one of them, I was just like halfway up Angel's Landing, and when you look down, it flew like under us almost.
Oh.
So you could see the whole top of it, and it was sweet.
Wait, when was that?
Today.
Like, do you know what time,
Uh,
possibly?
It would have been like right around noon, because we got to the top at
Okay.
like 2. So
Yeah.
yeah, well maybe.
time did
Wait,
you
that's
go?
what time when we were coming down.
We literally like on our
At
way
2.
on our way
Yeah.
back from our trail, because we were at the trail like Angel's Landing. If you instead of going right, you go left.
Yeah.
We went down that trail today.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
when we
yeah.
were finishing it, I was like, they should be coming down right about now.
Wait, so what time did you start the trip? Because, wait, no, one.
I couldn't tell you exactly when. We left whenever, half hour before you. So it would have been like 9:30, I think we left.
Yeah.
Somewhere
And then
around
you
there.
started probably around like
10:30.
10 something.
I have
Yeah.
to let the bus
'Cause
warm up this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Dude,
diesel.
dude, you got it. Like it's so cold, and like when you start it, it's just like woo, 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 like
I
the
heard
whole
it.
time.
We were up because those people next to us
I'd be
like
so
woke us
nervous.
up. And
I don't
heard-
think I could have a diesel just because of the gas prices and also being in the cold. I'm glad y'all can do
Nowadays,
it,
they're
but I
the
don't know
same
about me.
price.
Yeah, no, now like the prices are pretty even now.
Yeah,
But just
that is true.
like I don't know, we haven't had like when we were driving it pretty much every day. I'm not really too worried about it being cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up in Canyon Creek, not Canyon Creek, Black Canyon, we it snowed like that night when we were sleeping. So it snowed like all morning. So we
and
had
it
like
started?
we had like 3 inches of snow, and it like the first time I started it, it was like it just bogged out the entire time.
shit.
And then I let it go for a second. I was like, I kind of looked back at Jake. I was like, oh shit, like we might be here for a while. And then I started up again. It was fine.
Okay,
we just
that's
don't
what
let
I
it.
was nervous
We never
about.
let it get below a quarter tank. So like
Yeah.
we always have gas to.
We've been
burn.
pretty low before, but like most
Yeah.
of the time we fill up at a quarter.
We do either a quarter or like right at half before E. But
Yeah.
that's rare that we get that low. Like today, or any days that, or
driving-
not today, but like the past few days, we'll fill up, at half sometimes just because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
But anything below or higher, we're like, okay.
You guys want to try that?
What is this?
Amber ale.
I can't see it. And I thought it was me. I can't see it.
Massage.
It's soda, for the sake of and also by the way the podcast is rolling.
Yeah.
Just so you know, if you didn't already figure that out.
No, I saw it.
Yeah. Oh, smoke.
Caramel toast. What is it?
Malt. Just drink it.
Just drink it. Take a sip.
Okay.
You'll like it.
Okay. Well,
It's soda.
oh,
I mean, it's probably about what Maggie and Sahil gave us when we were in. Sorry, I'm snitching on you guys.
This part will probably get cut out just in case.
it just tastes disgusting. Like,
Really?
yeah, like
Let me taste.
it's like it's not bad, but it just has no flavor. It does taste better than just regular fucking, like beer.
like Busch Light.
It just, you know what? It tastes like tortilla chips after the aftertaste. You taste that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a
Chips.
it's a red beer, so
Yeah.
I don't know, like tortillas, Mexican, I guess.
It
I
tastes
don't know.
like tortillas. Oh, that's nasty. We had this pumpkin spice and like Maggie and Phil.
Pumpkin spice, like Bud
It
Light
was
seltzer.
the best. I think it was the best alcohol I've ever tried.
It wasn't
No,
that
it was
good.
so good.
It was good, but it wasn't like.
It wasn't great.
He downed like, oh my god, that really tasted good too. He downed what, like no, it was one thing of marshmallows, and then like it was a marshmallow beer, and then another thing of just like what, regular beer? Something like that.
No, it was like apple. It was they had
Oh.
Busch Light also.
Well, he
It
was
some
tipsy.
apple.
It was hilarious.
And I don't ever drink, so
Yeah.
like,
It is so
Same
funny.
here. I usually like the fact that I got this. My brother was like, "When did you buy this?" I was like, today." He's like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "I didn't even notice."
Is he asleep?
No, he's probably chilling. He wants to actually. We're probably gonna leave tonight after this
Really?
podcast because he's like hell bent on getting to
he
Vegas.
wants to get
Damn.
there.
So like he was over here, just his foot was just tapping. So he's like, dude, he's like, whenever you get done with this podcast, I'm probably gonna be awake. So if you want to drive to Vegas,
Y'all just
So-
split up the driving.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
one of us can sleep, you know,
Uh-huh.
like same like with you guys.
Yeah.
Like one someone can sleep and just go.
Yeah.
So
That's
if he's
gonna
gonna
be
be
a
wired,
drive.
Vegas isn't that far
It's only
away.
2 hours.
Oh, okay.
It's literally like
Oh,
2
shit.
hours.
and we
Yeah.
make an hour back apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna leave in the morning and hit the Grand
When you get
Canyon,
there, you'll go
hopefully.
into a next time zone.
Yeah.
Wait. Speaking of which, okay, we'll talk about it later, but we need to figure out our route tomorrow.
Okay. So we'll get a little bit more into this.
Yeah.
But let's start off on just like how we met, because that was kind of funny.
Yeah, we can
Because,
like,
kinda,
we drove-
talk about everything that
Yeah.
we talked about yesterday.
Yeah, pretty much. So I drove by you guys, and it was like, look in the mirror, obviously, because we have pretty much the same van,
Yeah.
other than like paint job. But like, it was pretty wild, and I'm pretty sure I waved at you guys. I don't know if I did or
I
not.
did.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
someone waved, like we waved, and then you guys kept going one way, we kept going the other, and we parked into here, and then I was like, and then you guys obviously came back, and that was pretty funny.
I think you guys looked young. Like, I saw you, and I thought, okay, he looked really young. And then I don't know if I saw anybody else. Like, I
Yeah.
thought Justin maybe had.
I didn't see anybody.
Okay,
Yeah, he
and
was chilling
so,
in the back,
Yeah,
so
we
you
pulled
wouldn't hit him.
over to like park near you guys. So okay, I'll kind of like give the
Yeah.
rundown. So we go past you guys. Well, we turn around, and then I'm like, okay, let's just go over there and let's find them. So we didn't see you over here, and I was like, okay, well, we need to go find a spot or something. So we go over to where that land is just completely clear, and I was like, oh, I can't pee here. So then I was like, okay, let's just head back and see if we can see them again. And so we're looking for a big ass green bus. So we're driving back over here, and I'm like, okay, they're somewhere in here, so
Yeah.
let's just nestle our way in. And then we saw you, and we're like, do we park
first we
right
didn't-
next to you?
Yeah.
At first, we
Are
didn't think we would make it down
creepy?
here.
Yeah, no, no, for sure. Like the first little bit by the two trailers over there, that was pretty deep.
I looked at it and I was like, yeah, we're gonna risk it.
Yeah,
'Cause we,
if
when
you
we
can
were-
run it.
When we were in Wyoming, bro, Emma, we went to. It was a great spot in the Teton National
Which one are we
Forest.
talking about?
The one where we had that giant hill.
Oh my god. Yeah, sidetrack, real quick. We went down this insanely steep hill,
Yeah,
and I was like, oh yeah, we got it. And so we get down there and we, park and whatever, and we get out of
And
the bus
the
and we're
road
like,
was so
there's no
fucked up,
fucking way
too.
we're gonna get up there. Like,
Like-
the rocks were huge, massive, and we didn't think about it. Well, I didn't think about it going down. And
Yeah.
so the next morning, I'm having anxiety that entire night. I'm like, there's no way that we're gonna be able to get up there the
We
next
thought
morning.
we were like, we're gonna be stuck in the national forest.
So I was like, Justin, get out. The dog, get out. I can't have you guys in here while I'm trying to get up there. My anxiety is already through the roof. So I'm
Yeah.
like gassing it up the hill, and we're going.
yeah,
And so we finally get up to the top, and I'm like, Justin, that was so thrilling. I'm so glad we did it.
yeah.
The view was insane. But
it
anyways,
was a pretty bad hill though. Like we got there, like on the way down, it didn't look as bad.
Yeah,
And then
but on
when-
the way back up,
when we
obviously.
parked at our spot, we looked up at it and we were like, "Are we sure we're gonna get up that?"
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's scary for sure. And like, does your back end just wobble like no other? Like,
everything wobbles.
well, yeah.
All of it. I mean, like,
the front's not as bad.
everything.
Yeah, the front you don't feel as bad, but then all of a sudden the back starts going in,
Yeah.
like everything just starts
Yeah.
flying. It's like, oh shit, like
well, whenever
yeah.
I'm in the seat, like, you don't,
No.
when you drive, you don't feel shit.
anything. No,
But then you're like, okay, everything's in the back. You have to be careful.
careful. You have to go super slow.
Mhm.
No, and like
Through here
being-
was
being
Here
with
was pretty
him
nice.
like driving, like when he drives
Mhm.
and I sit in the back. Oh my god, like what
Yeah.
he does. Like I'm guarantee I do it too, but like
you
there's
almost
little
feel like
movements.
they're terrible
oh,
drivers.
I feel like he's a horrible driver.
I know.
And
I feel the
guarantee
same
he probably
about
feels- yeah.
him. Our relationship
Yeah.
is like,
Can you please not do that? And it's like, what do you want me to do?
you do the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
you just
and
don't feel it because you're sitting in the nice chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes
exactly.
I'll sit like right next to him, and in the floor, so
Yep.
I'm sliding, side to side,
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm like, babe, can you not go so fast? Like yesterday, he felt like he was going 80 down the hill. He was only going like 65, and that's the speed limit.
Yeah.
And today I'm like, yeah, I got this time. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go slower, and I'm going the same speed, and I'm like having everything go the same way.
Yeah.
But anyways, getting back into here was easy peasy. I didn't think it would be because I was scared of like the mud.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we didn't
for
think
sure.
we didn't know how
Like
muddy
I
it
could
would
feel
be.
it slide a little bit,
Yeah.
and so I was like, oh my god, are we gonna get stuck? But then whenever we parked, I was like, do we just walk over there? Because you were sitting outside, I think, or something. You were
on
doing
your
something
drone.
with
I
the
saw
yeah.
I was like, what is he doing? And I saw the drone flying around. I was like, oh.
I was low key trying to be like, what's the vibe? Like, are we trying to?
Are we
But
trying to hang out? What are we trying to do here?
yeah, and then.
You just came over and said hi, and I was like, shit, yeah. I was like, dude, that's
Well,
cool.
were you like freaked out because?
No, because wasn't I chilling out, like, in the
Yeah,
driver's seat
we were
just
low
looking?
key watching like.
Yeah.
Low-key
no, dude,
watching.
I was like,
explain it. I don't care.
Yeah, we were low key watching. The foil was up in front of the window, and so I was like, okay, let me look normal, but I need to see what they're doing because I want to go over there. So we go and set the fire up,
Yeah.
and Justin and I were like, let's go talk to him. And then he was like, well, you go do it. And I was like, no, you go do it. I'm nervous. And so we were debating between like who's going to do it, and I was like, babe, I was like, you know, not to be misogynistic, but I was
Yeah.
like, you're the man, like you got it. And he's like, well, you're the woman, you can talk better, da da da.
Yeah,
So I was like, oh my god.
Exactly.
So I go over there and I'm like, just F it, I'll just come up with something. And I was like, I mean, that was right.
It was
but
easy, yeah. So you have the same van as me. Let's talk
Like,
about
like
it. I was
I
like,
need
oh,
to
okay,
see
cool.
yours. Yeah, exactly.
It's easy. It's an easy way to, and like, the first time I went up to someone at Arches, I don't know if I told you this already, but like, went up to them in the Volkswagen, and I was like, they had their windows rolled down, and
Yeah.
I yelled like, hey, how you doing? Like loud, and I'm like, there ain't no way this person didn't hear me say that. They looked out the window and rolled the windows up on me. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, see you later, man.
I think that's what keeps like people from confronting other people.
Yeah,
in
'cause it
case
just makes you
people
so
act like
nervous.
that.
Yeah.
Like
Like you want to be able to talk to everyone.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. If you live in a van and you're like parked out in the middle of the woods, bro, I know you're lonely.
yes.
Like we
But
know,
then maybe
we all
they
know
like
you're.
it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
know.
Some people.
Like,
I mean,
today-
sometimes it's nice, but like you don't want to go to every campsite and not have something to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, no, it wasn't today. It was, I think I told you this last night, but the other day we went up to, no, we were driving past the guy in a schoolie, whatever.
Oh,
and-
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
like he had a kid, and so maybe that's why he wasn't talkative. But before that, we didn't tell you this part. We were driving like through the canyon. This was the first time that we had been there at Capitol Reef, and we see it for the first time. And I'm like, babe, oh my God, there's a schoolie. And he's like, oh my God, da da da, whatever. We're freaking out because we hadn't seen one in a while.
Yeah.
And so he kind of like, I think you or me, I can't remember who was driving, but we waved
you were
or
driving.
something. And he put his glasses on and just like smiled a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Or maybe I didn't wave and I smiled at him. Either way, it was a weird like, okay, he doesn't want to talk. So then the
Yeah.
next day I was like, I hope we see him. Because we saw his bus like down where we were traveling or hiking.
Yeah.
And so we're coming back down and we're trying to keep an eye out for who he, like what he looked like, whatever. And so we're leaving out of the hike and then we see him outside with his daughter and wife. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. Like they're a little family in the schoolie. Maybe we could be friends with them. And then we wave and he's like,
Yeah.
just gives us a smirk and a fucking, I mean, that shit. I
Yeah.
was like, damn, I just wanted to be friends and I wanted to see your bus.
Exact-
It seems cool.
And like, I don't know. You guys have obviously been a little bit more traveled than we have, but like you don't see like I've saw one schoolie so far, and I've been to like 3 national parks. And I was like, I feel
Yeah.
like I'd see more
you
of those
thought
things.
You would see more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Moab, I tell you what, Moab was nuts. Like I don't know if I saw like a normal car.
What?
It was just straight Jeeps, 4-wheelers, Razors, and Sprinters, like vans,
Everywhere.
everything.
That's so
like
cool.
RVs.
I wanna
like
go there so bad.
We've seen a lot more schoolies since we've been in Utah.
Yeah,
when we
but
were in
you
Wyoming,
don't think
they
you
were
would
nowhere.
see, like, you'd think you'd see more. And you see RVs
Yeah.
and...
you know, you see RVs everywhere.
Sprinters.
It's
yeah, and I'm
nuts.
like,
yeah.
I'm kind of bored.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to see some
I want to see.
schoolies.
I want to see some
I
weird
want to see
stuff.
more shuttle buses like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, exactly. And then also, like, the old-timey trailers. Like, there's one girl back here, and I'm like, dude, that's so cool.
I don't know.
But
if
then,
The pop up, the wooden one. Is
yeah,
that what you're
it
talking-
was
yeah.
a tiny house.
yeah,
Yes.
tiny
That-
houses
no,
are
that's-
really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it, though.
I
mean,
wouldn't
like,
want to pull a trailer around all the time.
Yeah.
especially that tall and skinny of a
Yes,
house.
Especially your
Yes.
house.
And, like, I mean,
like if nothing's if one thing's not secure.
okay,
you
but
don't
like,
know.
okay, think
Yeah.
about it. We're pulling our house, and okay, whatever. But we can see everything. We can hear everything.
Yeah.
But then when you're driving that thing and you're not in there, like plates could fall, and then the drawers could open, and you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And that's what's terrifying. I don't know how people do it. I mean, props to them, but geez. But
I feel like
RVs are,
they're a little bit more prepared, in their
yeah, I was about to
sense
say
than we are.
RVs are like that.
Put foam down everywhere.
People that manufacture that shit, they're like, okay, it's got to be secure. People are
Yeah,
putting a lot of
try
money
that
into it.
Especially
Let's
if you
just-
had it professionally built. I still have your other one. My bad.
Oh, you're good. Kill it.
Yeah. I like this one better, but
Yeah, this one's a little bit rough.
you try this one.
So what made you guys want to get a van?
Oh, I actually love this story.
Good.
So
Perfect. I'm
it's
glad
actually
you have
kind
a
of a
story
long
for it.
story. Yeah.
Kill it. It's all good.
Okay, so we were in high school. It was like what, babe, junior year, and we were trying to figure out where we
Yeah.
wanted to live.
Going into senior year, we really like started thinking like, what are we gonna do after we graduate?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm telling my mom, I'm like, we're gonna live together, and she was like, if y'all live together, da da da. We're not, like, basically not to shit on her, but like we're not paying for it. You do you, like
Yeah.
you're figuring it out on your own.
Yep.
Because we're young and living together. And so senior year comes around and we start doubling down on like, okay, we're gonna move to Atlanta. So Atlanta was our big move, and we had really started looking at like ideas of like apartments to stay at, whatever. And then something came up, like we were watching a YouTube video or maybe Instagram, I'm not really sure. We'd been informed about bus life, but then he said something along the lines of like, why don't we just travel, right? Yeah, travel
we
in a
had-
bus for a little bit.
We had
Yeah.
always like watched the YouTube videos and we're like, yeah, those are cool, and just watched them for entertainment. And then
But you had like,
One day you were actually like, let's do this.
Yeah.
well, yeah, so our initial intentions were to like travel for a month. So we had thought about getting a $4,000 school bus and
like a big school
uh,
bus,
like
yeah.
a-
they wanted to sell it for cheap.
like a $3,000 build. I mean, we thought like cheap as hell, we'll figure it out. That didn't happen. So we start looking at actual prices of everything, and so the bus fell through, the one that we wanted to get that was $4,000, and so I was like, okay, that's around August 2020. And then I'm like, oh my god, we're running out of time, and then so I think around December our initial goal was like, okay, at the end of January we have to have a
Mhm,
bus.
Yeah. We weren't
I don't
gonna-
even know like how it all happened. We just decided
It was
out
gonna
of
happen.
nowhere we're gonna live in
Yeah,
it full
we're
time.
gonna get a bus. Like
Yeah, and we're
something.
gonna we were like from a month to 3 months to like we're living in it full time because we just decided
To the time we
why
started
not?
the build, we were like, we've dropped so much money on it. Like,
Yeah,
Might as
like-
well.
why don't we just be comfortable? That's why we installed a shower, because we've seen a lot of people without showers. And Like-
I need my shower and I
Yeah.
need it to be there. I don't care if I can't shower for a few days. I just need to know that it's there if
Yeah.
I ever need to.
like,
Like on days like this, I would shower if we had more water in there. But anyways,
Van life.
yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
So then
Makes you
That was
appreciate
good.
it.
I would totally look at you right now, but I'm so mesmerized
No,
by
you're
the
good.
fire.
Good.
And then I'm also trying to focus on like the story. So basically, we get to around January, and it's like January 6th. We go and check out a long, fat ass school
And
bus.
they wanted $7K for it.
And no, it was actually 6,500, and
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh fuck yeah, like let's get it. And then something along the lines of, it's not gonna work out, and so we just took that as a sign. And then I go on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm looking at this van, or the bus, the shuttle bus, and so I'm like, oh shit, it's $12,000. What the fuck? So then I see the markdown, and it's $10,000, and I'm like, I can't do $10,000. So I text the guy, I'm like, hey, is this still available? And he's like, oh my god, you've been looking for a bus for 7 months. And I'm like, yeah, I have. How'd you know? And he's like, I remember talking to you. And I'm like, dude, we've been looking for one so long. Like, is there any way you can get it down to 7,000? He was like, I don't think I can do 7,000. What about 7,500? And I was like, dude, I really can't. Basically asked him, can we do a deal? So I'll trade him art or whatever for like a deal.
The extra 500 or whatever. yeah.
Something. I mean, he didn't end up buying anything or whatever, doing a deal. But long story short, he figures out a way to get it down to 7,200. And so we go to Atlanta. I put the $1,000 deposit down before I even saw it in person because I was like, this is it. New motor, 40,000 miles on it. So I'm
Yeah.
like, the bus itself has 152,000 miles on the structure.
It's about to be at 160, I think.
Yeah, 160, and but it's such a good bus, and it's been like having the new motor's been fucking fantastic. So, anyways, we go out and check it out in Atlanta, and we're like, oh, yeah, this is it. So we drive it, and then we're like, fuck yeah, let's just pull the trigger. So we go and get it. Long story short, the guy and I still keep in touch because he's so amazing. Do you know what it's called? The place that we got it from?
Oh,
Like if you're looking for a bus.
I know they like call it the bus center, but they only
Yeah.
have 2 locations, and one of them is in Pelham, and one of them is in
Pelham, Alabama,
and one of
and
them
then
is in Atlanta.
Atlanta,
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Georgia. So then, what else?
And
babe?
160 just like on the structure is like not even bad.
No, it's not.
Because I have 127 on this.
Damn.
So what's crazy is the place that we were looking at, the big bus. Thank God we didn't get it, like the big school bus.
Yeah.
It was the sister company to that company.
It was
that
the
we
same company.
Like they were
Oh.
literally the same company, but like they
Just
were just
different locations.
merged by.
So is that how he knew that you guys were looking for one?
No, like
Oh.
Emma
No,
had
he just knew me apparently from
Oh.
7 months ago. I don't know.
from when we were
like
initially
first
looking for a
looking.
bus.
I barely remembered him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ramen. But
Exactly.
anyways, what else after that? We go home, we buy the bus, we're driving it home. Did fantastic the whole way. We drove
Mhm.
3 hours back. And then like immediately when we started the
That
project, we just like started demoing everything.
That night, as soon as we got the bus,
Because you're so excited.
Yeah.
obviously.
Oh my
You're like,
God,
let's go,
demoing
let's make
took
this.
let's make
what?
this happen.
How long did demoing take? Around 2 or 3 months. It took forever.
Demoing didn't take that long. It was.
I swear it did.
What took the longest was insulation, and we spent a lot of days.
Insulation and putting up the walls back, like putting the
Yeah.
walls
With
back
the
up.
electrical and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
already
we
done?
actually did electrical like,
After.
almost
Yeah.
last, which
Yeah.
is
It's
stupid.
because,
You
like-
should have ran it all first.
Nah, I feel like having it behind those walls, it eventually would have found a way to leak in, because
Possibly.
our bus had leaked previously before.
Oh.
Yeah, we had
So
7
we-
leaks.
We kind of made sure we put everything on the inside, so like if it does leak, it's not instantly touching the wire.
Yeah.
Is that the moon? Sorry to like.
So it might be a car.
Oh, that's a car.
Oh yeah, it's a car. I was like, oh my god, it's so bright. It happened last night.
Okay, so just might as well run with it now. How crazy is the sky in comparison to back home?
Oh my god. Back home, you can't
You
see
can't see
shit.
anything back home.
You'll literally see like the Big Dipper and Small Dipper,
And that's it.
and that's it. And then also, back home, just in general, is all just boring. And
Just light pollution and
yeah,
everything.
exactly.
No, I got to Black Canyon in here, and this is the first 2 times in my life I've ever been able to like see the
Yeah.
Milky Way.
Well, I'm really
Exactly.
telling you, go to Salt Flats and it's even better.
Salt Flats.
Salt
is-
Flats.
Even
Mhm.
fucking better.
And that's Nevada, right?
No,
it's actually
right before
here
Nevada.
in Utah. It's right before Salt Lake City, actually.
No, remember we left.
Oh, that's if we're going north though,
we
right?
left Salt Lake City to go to.
Yeah,
to
but
Salt
it's still in
Flats.
Utah.
I know it's in Utah, but
Yeah.
I was just saying it's right before Nevada.
It's like an hour before Salt Lake.
It's like north, yeah, a little
Oh,
bit
it's
north.
north, so if we go to Vegas, we won't be hitting it.
You might hit it on the
Oh
way
yeah,
back.
it is towards Nevada.
Yeah, remember we
Yeah,
were
it's
we
on
were,
the border.
we were literally like maybe like an hour away from Vegas when we were in Salt Flats or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
on the border. Dude, that's cool. I forgot about that. What else?
So like, here's a question, but like, when you actually decided to do van life, like when that hit you to like actually say like full on, this is what we're gonna do. Like what was really the reason that you guys wanted to do it? Just because of the money situation, if we're gonna dump that much, we're gonna do it, or like, did you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
really want to do like?
That was the question.
We also wanted to be
Mm-hmm.
different than a lot of people at our in our
Okay.
city.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. See.
We didn't want to end up in like the stay in your hometown trap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
I
like-
think Alabama is just, it's kind of like a place where an artist can't be, like, I can't be myself initially, or like basically.
So okay, then
Yeah.
let's get into that though. Like, so you're an artist,
Yeah.
and like you travel around and you do, what like how do you work for and how do you pay for like van life?
Okay, so murals are basically what pays for everything right now. Just because they're fun, they're big, and they pay really, really good money.
Shit.
Oil paintings and just in general anything. That's like side, and then for fun, and then for family. And just if there's good money in it, I will do it. Those are really cheap, like around a few $100s. And I think my time's worth more now. And so
Definitely.
when we got into the bus, it was like, okay, we need a way that I can enjoy life and make money So I can work like 1 week or 2 to 3 weeks at a time and then have the rest of the month off. Or if I decide to have a week off, I can do that. So we did a month in Utah for like full work, and now I don't have to work at all because I have one saved up, and then 2, I have more jobs coming when I get home, so I'm not worried about that. But yeah, back home there's not many job opportunities for artists, and then also like they don't really support anybody that's different, and so that was our main goal, to just be different and feel better about ourselves, because I just didn't want to end up like
You just
going
didn't
to
want to end up
college,
in a rut.
marriage, kids, job, die. That's just
Alabama's
not my thing.
literally like was voted one of the most saddest states.
It is.
Yeah. No, like really that's wild.
It
Yeah, like the
actually
people
is.
there, the people like population there, they're so sad.
I think everybody there is it's hard for you to get out of your ways, and I love everybody that is
You don't
like kind and good people, but I think I need to be around people like you, or people like our friends, and that have these ambitious goals. Like our friends are doing 40,000 miles in a certain amount of time.
They're trying to break the Guinness World Record.
Yeah, and like I have it
Yeah.
on record. And I'm like, dude,
Wait,
that's
who
the
are
shit I
they?
want to be around.
Shout them out real quick.
Shout out Brittany and Chris. They're
It's
amazing.
like they're our doppelgangers.
Literally met them
Look
in the
just
most
like
insane
us,
way.
act just like us.
We were at it was as soon as we got to Wyoming, and we were at Olive Garden. We were using a gift card our families gave us.
Yeah, we were like, we're not gonna go eat out.
Oh, you don't need to. Yeah.
yeah, and then
exactly.
we go.
But we had a gift card, so it
Yeah.
wasn't really our money. Like we were like, all right, let's just go.
It was just
eat,
free.
Enjoy
it was just free food. Yeah.
Because we were in the middle of nowhere, Georgia, so we hadn't eaten out in so long.
Yeah,
Like
we were in the middle of buttfuck nowhere doing a mural, and it was
yeah,
that one was tough.
it was tough.
Um,
Anyways, we were at Olive Garden, and me and her just sitting there enjoying our dinner, and then we were like, what was the question? It was something about Yellowstone, but I can't remember.
no,
like,
well, I
exactly.
heard these people talking behind us about travel, and I was like, babe, did you hear that? They just said the word travel. And then
I want to talk to him. Travel,
yeah,
yes.
and then I was like, okay, so what are we gonna do for tomorrow? And our plan was
Oh
to
yeah,
go to
well,
Yellowstone.
we were asking them if they knew Yellowstone at all. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
have they been there? If they could
Yeah.
give us some advice, basically.
and then I asked,
She asked me. She was like, "Should I ask him?" I was like, "Go
like,
for
where
it."
to go, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
We
And
didn't know where to go.
she was like, "Have y'all ever been to Yellowstone?" And
Like,
they
I'm
were like,
turning around. I'm like, have you ever been to Yellowstone? And where do we stay if y'all have been there? And then, what?
they were literally like, "We're going tomorrow," and we've never been. I was
You're
like,
like, no way.
Yeah.
So we were like, "All right, y'all are cool," and they acted like just like us.
How old are they?
They're
24 and 27.
Yeah,
And
we'll actually be meeting up with them in like a week or so.
Yeah.
yeah, like we're meeting them back home,
They're coming
and
all the way
they're
to
gonna stay in
Alabama.
with us, which is really cool. But anyways, I mean, it's just so random. Like, we had not expected to go there. They apparently said they hadn't planned on going there.
Until
like, they
you
had
guys
this
asked.
same
Yeah.
no, like
No.
no, to Olive Garden.
Oh,
Like, we
yeah,
just
okay.
randomly met up, and it just fell into place.
And the city that we met up in
And
too.
then the next day, we're like,
yeah, the
we
next
wanted to
day.
hang out with them, but we couldn't find them because we didn't have service.
No service in Yellowstone at
And
all.
they ended up right next to you.
Yeah,
somehow.
No,
right,
we-
no. Like, we literally texted them, and I was like, hey, we want to meet up with you guys. And so apparently the text didn't go through until they were 8 minutes out. Like, they were about to pass. And they said as soon as we had, like, seen your message, we just, I guess, kind of went near you guys. And so they pull around, and they see us, and out of nowhere,
we didn't know
like,
we didn't know they were coming. Like we were about to set up to make dinner,
Yeah, we were
and
about to
like
go to sleep
we
shit,
parked in this
too.
dark back of a parking lot, and we were about to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, we get a knock on our door, and I'm like, I look at her like, who is
she was like,
knocking?
hey, friends.
I was like, who is that? And then she's like, hello, friends. I was like, what the fuck?
It was so crazy. I think everything that's like meant to be will be. Like, that's
it'll
why I was kind of like, okay, if they're over there, then we're meant to be friends with them. But the other people that we've talked to, I'm like, okay, then we're just not meant to be
Yeah,
friends
you're
with
just
you
not.
guys.
Yeah.
Like, we'll
If
meet
you're not
you-
okay
yeah.
with it, I mean, it's just a weird situation. I mean, you're out in the middle of nowhere, like.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really blame people for not wanting
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, I guess after the like situation with just van life in general, I
Yeah.
think people are a lot more cautious now.
Yeah,
For sure.
For sure.
Which, I mean, I don't blame them, but I'm like, I want to go meet people.
No, like, if you don't put yourself out there in the first place, though, like,
You'll
you're
never
never gonna meet
know.
anyone. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah. I'm like, I need to make new friends. I have no friends back home, so I'm like, now I need to actually bond with people. And I have all of these friends that I can meet up with at any time that we can, you know what I mean? And like, that's what I wanted. I mean,
and it's way different when your friends are actually like so similar in the fact like, oh, we live in a van too.
Yeah.
Like
That's
we
so much to bond
That
with.
automatically makes you like alike.
there's so much to talk about in the sense like, okay, where have you gone? And like
Yeah.
boom, that conversation just goes into like, you know,
What are your
2-3 hours. Like
experiences?
yeah, where have you
Exactly.
been? What have you doing? Where are you going? And then people just love to talk about that.
Exactly.
I think
It's so easy.
having lifelong friends like that it's more, I guess, comforting than having friends back home that you're doing two different things.
Yeah.
Like in high school, we had friends who were planning on doing something totally different from us, and so we'd share our story, and they'd be like,
Gross.
like we don't, yeah, or even they'd laugh and be like, you're not
That's
gonna do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then I was
They
like,
doubt you, or they just don't think it's sustainable at all.
exactly, and it's been
I mean,
very
look at,
sustainable.
Look at us now. We're living
doing it.
happily.
Yeah.
Happily, I'm
And
like,
like, you can say this too, like, where have you guys been the past 2 years? Oh, back home? Cool.
Yeah,
I've been here,
exactly.
here,
Exactly.
and I came back home. Like, yeah, it's always
Exactly.
gonna be there.
exactly, and I think also, if you want to do, like, this is just specifically to the podcast, like, if you want to do bus life, fucking, like, money comes and goes. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
the biggest thing about having you especially save up and doing this differently than us, like, money comes and goes, and it'll come again.
Yep.
But, like, this, you don't always have it. You could die tomorrow, or you could die the next day, or whatever, and you would have your life wasted away. Like,
That's why
You just have the regret of it, yeah.
That's
I
why
mean, shit.
I kind of respect people who come out here and like they're just their cars and like, y'all really making it happen.
exactly. I
Right.
think that's the most like important part. It's just doing it, and if you become broke in the process, you'll figure it out. You'll go get
You'll
a good
fig- yeah.
job. Like,
Like, you wouldn't have taken the risk if you didn't think that that you could
I'm-
make it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm big enough to like figure it out.
Yeah, like, I mean, if I need to get home, I have enough money. I can get home, and then I can figure my stuff out
Yeah.
then. Like,
yeah, exactly.
it's not that difficult. And, like, it's also the fact, like, you did it.
Mhm.
And, like, to be
You
able
can
to
say you did
what
it.
was the whole thing that with mine is, like, I was talking about buying a van for probably a year.
Same.
You just,
Yeah,
but
we
like,
were-
I wasn't just talking about it. I was like,
You
hey,
were invested.
I was like, hey, I don't know you, but like, guess what I'm trying to do? Like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
buy a van. I'm trying to go out west, and they're like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
I'm like,
Okay,
yeah,
so
like,
you do it.
yeah. But like, if you talk about something enough,
It's gonna happen.
it's so much in the back of your head that like it's inevitable at that
Yeah.
point.
That's why I always tell him about
shit.
like the jobs and everything. I'm like, as long as you just keep your mind on it, it's gonna happen. And that also has to do with, I do want to share this. So I don't know if I told you, but like my goal for this year, and it didn't happen. But okay, so backtrack. My goal last year for this year to make money wise was like pretty low, and I set myself for a low standard.
Yep.
And so I was like, damn, like I had all these expectations, but I ended up exceeding that goal a little bit. So then next year I was like, I want to make 6 figures, and ended up having a goal literally fall in my lap. And so now I have 6 figures lined up for next year with a company, and like they're a property management real estate company. And so it's back in Salt Lake City, and
Yeah.
it's like 5 buildings that I have to do their stairwell all the way up. And so I told them, you know, the price, and they were like, all right, well, we'll get back to you on like how many walls specifically we want to do. Like the contract, we're happening, like we're making it happen. And I've been so timid to talk about it because I'm like, I don't want anyone's negative energy in it. But
Oh,
then I'm
for
like,
sure.
as long as I know it's going to happen and they know it's going to happen, then that's all that
All that
fucking
matters.
matters.
That's dope.
It's really dope. It's
Because
really
like, okay,
exciting.
so like, not to like, you know, judge you or anything, but like, you guys are 19-year-olds,
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm an artist, and
Yeah.
then he's like looking for work, and I was like, I get it. Like, I worked at Dunham's. I was a retail manager. Like, I had a consistent, easy
Yeah.
paycheck.
Yeah.
Like that's, I mean, it was very consistent for 6 years, and like, you guys up, and like, you're 19, right?
Yeah.
You're both 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bull. Like you're out here making 6 figures, just like doing what you
Doing what you love. You have
Yeah.
to do what you love. It
Exa-
always will come back around for you. My mom, I have a story about this. My mom, she is a writer and singer, and she'll like do whatever here and there. And she just recently texted me, and she was like, she does makeup too, and she
Yep.
was like, should I quit makeup because I feel like it's not making me happy, or I feel like it's taking time away from what I love. And I just said simply, the more you focus on the one thing that you want to do, the more it's going to grow for you. Like,
So, yeah.
I used to spread myself thin and be like a dancer and a teacher and all these different things, and
Instead of just focusing on art.
I
On
was
what-
like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm making so much money, and then I was like, oh my god, I'm exhausted, and so I quit that shit, and then I made more money doing
what you love.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's
it's insane.
awesome. Because this is all news to me. Because we hung out yesterday, and I was like, okay, like I texted them today, and I was like, okay, if I stay one more night, are we gonna do a podcast? And then you guys were like, yeah, like we're already back at the campsite. I was like, okay, sick. So I'll be back in a
Yeah.
little bit.
I mean, we
But no,
decided
that's
to,
awesome.
yeah.
That's so cool.
It's pretty cool being able to like do what I love and also be where I love.
Yeah.
And, like, I think the whole point of life is just fucking risking it and not getting comfortable.
I mean, what do you get out of it if you don't risk it?
Yeah,
You don't get to do what you wanted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
you could share like your story about just how you grew up, and then also you expected you were going to be you were going to travel, but you never knew that it was going to be this soon,
oh yeah.
just because
To this
like how you
extent.
grew up.
I looked into bus life when I was younger, before me and Emma even like got together. That's how I'd kind of just like found my way into it.
Yeah.
But
You good.
Talk a little bit louder.
but after that, I mean, like it kind of hit the back of my mind, and then for a little bit, I don't know, we kind of just found our way back to it,
But I'm talking about like, okay, so
and then I always told myself, I was like, to make money on the road, like I got to look for a remote job.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to be bouncing back and forth.
For sure.
So most of my money was going to saving up for school, put myself through school,
for
coding, web development.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
And then my mom was watching the news one day. Look what you get if you watch the news. But she was watching the news, and they had this free class in my city that I took. And I was there for 5 months, 9 through 5, Monday
Yeah.
through Friday. And, I mean, it felt like an actual job from time to time. But,
basically the point is it fell into his lap.
and then
You
all
learned-
that, as soon as that started, it was completely free. All that money went straight to the bus, and we got it sooner than expected.
Like I'm saying, you
Right.
take
It
risks,
just happened,
everything's gonna
yeah.
fall
Yeah.
into your lap. But I'm
Watching the
mostly-
news and it.
like it just.
Like,
I
oh,
mean,
look,
it's crazy.
hey, yeah, this is what you want to do, right? And then
Exactly.
you're like, oh shit, like that actually does help me a lot.
And
Yeah.
what's crazy is, like, I know hundreds of people applied for it, but they only accepted maybe like 20, 30 people. And I was
Dang.
one of the people that got accepted. And I was,
What do you think set you apart in that? Just
I think we were background about.
Yeah,
like,
they asked for your background and like for you to send a personal video like about yourself.
yeah.
And I told them in the video like what my main goal was, and I think that kind of set me apart from
What's
like,
your main goal?
like was to get on the road
Yeah.
eventually and like make
To- yeah.
this a career to fuel what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I think they were really on
They're
that.
like,
and they're
yeah, we
looking
want
for
to help that.
They're looking for young people in the industry. So
I-
I was the youngest one in my class also.
Yeah, he was.
you
Which
go.
was
Yeah.
really cool. I think also how and where and I don't know if you want me to share all this, but like how you grew up in a sense, like it was really hard for opportunities to happen.
Yeah.
And so I think once we got together, we were both like, okay, let's just make shit happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Instead of just waiting for it. And
It's nice when you have someone else to
yeah.
push you on in that way.
like he makes up for what I lack, and he's more like he puts me in my place, which
Yeah.
I need to be put in my place, and I push
him-
him
yeah.
in places he needs to be pushed.
Yeah. When I'm feeling out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it like having that be such a like a dynamic duo really, and then
Yeah.
also doing what we love, like our relationship fucking struggled doing the entire bus bill.
Oh,
like
yes.
almost broke up several times.
If you're looking to get into bus life, just know
If you're in a relationship, that shit's gonna suck.
it doesn't suck, but just
Well,
know
There's
the
gonna be
build
fights, yeah.
the build will
Suck.
test you.
No, yeah, if you make it out through, that's a really good relationship. And so after, or toxic, I don't know which one, but after, I mean, our relationships in general, like with everybody, has
have
just
been better.
yeah,
Yeah.
because now we communicate with each other like, hey, this is how I feel, and this is why I feel this way. And I feel like if we were back home, we'd be stuck in our ways of just boredom,
Yeah.
sad,
Yeah.
not
Well,
wanting to grow
We literally used to argue back home because we were bored.
all the time. All the time.
And then you probably realize, like, why are we arguing? Oh,
Exactly.
because we're not doing shit.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we would talk about not being able to go do anything because everything costs money, and we
Yeah.
didn't have money. And so I was like, we can't even go to the, like, roller skate rink or the bowling alley because we didn't have enough money for it.
And plus, if you wanted to do that, it was out of our city also, so you had to
Yeah.
drive.
And so we were just sitting in bed, like, watching TV all the time. And now when we're bored, we can just get up and, like,
Go
fucking
somewhere.
leave.
Yeah, exactly.
We can just go on a walk, like, and see new things. And we
Instead
can't
of
do
walking
that back
around
home.
like my neighborhood and just
Yeah.
seeing the same houses every day.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Now you're
bus
seeing
life is so
different
interesting.
mountains and different
Mhm.
creeks and everything every night.
You walk so far, it doesn't even feel like it. Like
Yeah.
you were forced to.
Yeah.
And what's okay? So here's another thing: living in van life, the appreciation you have for like the little things
Oh, God.
just goes through the
The
roof.
little things.
The little things blow. Like the
Exactly.
fact that we're right now we're at a campfire under the stars
Yeah.
at like what? What time is it?
I don't even know.
It's
Eight,
ele-
eight
oh,
o'clock.
8 o'clock. See, my
Back on
my
Eastern time.
laptop's yeah.
You're like, it's 11
I
o'clock.
was like, it's 11 o'clock.
9
I was
o'clock.
like,
About to be
dang.
9.
But no, yeah, it's 8 o'clock, and we're sitting here just chilling in a freaking campsite, just doing whatever
middle
we're
of
doing.
nowhere.
Yeah, in the middle of
Exactly.
nowhere. And it's just like how, and you also never like think you're gonna meet people, or you're never gonna like do any of this. It's just like, oh yeah, if you put yourself in those situations to like have that happen,
Yeah.
odds are it's probably gonna happen
gonna happen.
eventually.
Yeah.
If you put yourself in the situation long enough, it's gonna be like, oh, like shit's gonna fall in place.
You appreciate having running water and having solar.
Oh,
like,
and-
that's, and then everything else you're like, oh my God, that's such a kind
Like-
gesture. Like, if
Yeah.
someone to offer you whatever or give you information, like, you just really do appreciate
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And then also, you were just saying something that it reminded me of
Appreciate the hot showers. Ooh.
that, but you were saying, what was it? You just said it. Oh my God. What were you just talking about?
Starry sky. I don't know.
Shit.
We'll come back to her.
Yeah, just-
I can't
We'll figure
remember.
it out.
We'll loop back around on that one if
Loop
Yeah.
back around.
just,
I know it'll come soon.
just buzz in.
No, speaking of looping back around, but at Black Canyon, I was literally walking around the loop, the campsite that we were at,
Mhm.
and we got this thing. It was
Ow.
it was like parked down on a hill,
Mhm.
like, and I had the wheel turned, and then I turned the ignition off. The ignition locked up.
That
Yeah,
happened
that
to us.
happened
This
to
happened
us.
to
Yes.
us.
So you don't know how to start it, and then I like walked the loop, and there's these nice people with like a freaking nice ProMaster, and they came over. They're like, "Hey, like just turn it one way
That's
and then
exactly
wiggle
what-
the key." And I tried it for like a couple minutes. I was like, "Dude, this ain't working."
It does work though.
It does work. I called my dad. My dad's like, "Oh, last I knew, you just turn the wheel the other way and wiggle the key." And I was like, "You son of a bitch!"
Well,
So I go try it again. Nailed it.
I looked.
That happened that one time with
Well, you
you.
looked it up,
And I was
uh,
like, babe, like, it's probably just, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's happened before.
Yeah.
And so he looks it up and he's like,
Well, yeah.
like, whatever.
it
Yeah.
cranked
it
right
Now we
works.
know. Now we know how to park correctly. Like,
Yeah.
don't be on an angle.
No.
Don't have your wheels turned, because it's scary. Because like, there's like nothing else you can do
You're
other
like,
than that
fuck.
one thing.
Yeah.
So then you're like, if you don't know how to do that, it's just like shit. Like,
Have you ever, like, put the, have you ever turned the key before you put it in park yet? Like, we've done that so
once,
often.
once
'Cause
I've done. Yeah.
You're used to, like,
You're used to
in small
just- yep.
cars, grabbing
Mhm.
it from the right bottom. But now you have to do it from the right top.
I
I'm
used
like,
to-
I just forget.
I used
Yeah.
to do it in my car all the time. I would pull up at the house and just like sit in my driveway with my foot on the brake.
and then
then you
forget
I
to
would
put it in
just turn off
park.
my car.
Okay, I remember what I was gonna say. It was opportunity because I remember you talking about you never like meeting people.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
remember or you don't expect to meet people
Yep.
like this. So our goal for actually like the entirety of why we're doing this was to meet new people and
Yep.
was to connect with people like we met the other day.
Exactly.
Just people that could get us connections and have connections and be like, hey man, like, can you do this for me? Or
Exactly.
hey man, like, I can do this for you, and just have so many people to connect. Like,
And like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, I know this girl that does murals
Mural-
and stuff.
yeah,
And then
exactly.
it's like, oh, but she travels, so like you're
She can
cool.
call-
Like if you
That's
if you
exactly what
call
that
her,
guy
like
was
she
saying.
actually might come to
Yeah.
California. She might come to wherever you're at and do it. And then they're like, oh, like that's sweet. Like you met, and then like that type of connection, like referral and stuff like that. That's way more than anything else you're gonna
Anything
do.
else.
Like
that's what the guy that we talked about yesterday was basically saying. He was like, yeah, I can shout you out. I could connect you with people that I know, and
Yeah.
he knows like people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
He has plenty of people.
And so I'm like, dude, that's the shit I want to be around. That's just like I want to network. I want to be friends with these people. I want to, like, there's so much more than just a small city.
Oh yeah.
And,
See, what's funny, you guys are coming from a small city. Like, I'm coming from a small town.
small town.
Like, we have 1,000
That's a
people
small
in our
town.
town, period.
Yeah.
You
That's
have more than
small.
that in your school that you guys
Yeah.
went to. So, like, I mean, when it comes to, like, everyone knowing everyone, you go to my town, it's like, I'll drive down the street in the middle of town, and I'll
Yeah.
be able to point you at, hey, this is Rhonda the barber, and this is blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I know everyone.
Yeah,
Rhonda-
that is some shit.
Rhonda's gonna watch this and be like, oh,
No, I just made that one. Rhonda. No, there's Heather, there's Kateri. No, there's but yeah, like you just know these people and you know like I know their kids. I know their
Yeah.
grandpa.
Yeah.
I know like you just know everyone and it's like there's a certain point like you guys said before like all these people are there and they're going to stay there.
Yeah.
Not saying it's a bad situation in their life. It's awesome because they're growing like they're
just-
having
They have so
families and
much
everything.
to
I'm
do,
like
yeah.
I just don't want to do that.
I'm like, as of right now, that's not me.
Yeah.
Like, I'll
Exactly.
come back to this situation maybe when I'm 30, 40 and I have my shit
Right,
together.
I would do the same thing.
Yeah,
just
and I'll
maybe
go
not-
back home and, like, you know, chill. And, like, what I want to do is, like, coach football. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I can retire early and just coach football,
That'd be great.
I'm chilling. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's easy. I can have my good times in the fall and be able to, like, work on a craft or work on something.
Right.
And then the rest of my days just do what I want.
A small cities, it's like it's not a bad thing, but I think also where you come from is what's important. Like a small-minded community is really what kind of threw us out of
And
the.
that affects people a lot. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
People
my
don't think about that.
when
Like,
I was younger, like people would ask why I want to move out so bad, and I was like, I think just a small mind.
Because it's not to be mean, but it's like I don't want to end up like you guys.
Exactly.
I
Like-
just
like,
I don't
I
want to
knew-
be closed-minded. I don't want to think the world is terrifying, and I don't
Yeah.
want
Be
to take
scared
a
of the
Oh
world.
my gosh.
I don't want to not take risks because it's like
I mean, are your parents the same way? Like, were they like, oh, don't do this, don't do that? Because there's like,
yeah, in a sense they were because my dad, he's just super
Yeah.
like
Right,
he
straight
just
to the
does what he
point.
needs to
Yeah.
do. He's
I'm
a
gonna
simple
make my-
man.
yeah, I'm gonna make my living.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that man and I love his ways. But he is super simple. Now they're traveling. Now
Yeah,
they're doing things.
yeah.
They're doing RV life after my sister graduates.
there you go.
So, basically, my mom, she took risks about doing like, singing and writing and whatever, but they were never able to like get out of the small community. We got out of church, we got out of religion, whatever, but like they weren't able to just get up and move to where my mom wants to live in Nashville.
yeah,
And so we just never were able to do that. And I think pulling the trigger on things like that's what's most important. I think they will.
even if it's a risk.
They'll be
Yeah.
able to do
Yeah.
it at some point after my dad like is able to sell his company or whatever. But like, just I think it's always been okay. I want to be my own boss. I want to be my own woman. Like I want to be.
Your own.
I want to
Yeah,
be my
yeah.
own, and I think the same for you goes, Justin.
Mhm.
Like, you want to be able to afford your own shit, and like, not in that sense, but like, not have to.
You don't want to like worry about anything. You
Yeah, that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. You don't want to have to
Just-
worry.
No
sustainable.
situations at all.
and good.
Yeah.
And
Well-
especially when you're in a bus, like being like you have to be a minimalist in that
Mhm.
sense. Like
yeah.
you have to
oh my
like
God.
you
Double
have to be
down
like
so
yeah.
much.
I think I might like really appreciate like just walking into a big kitchen when we get back and just like
So weird. It's
not
gonna be
having to
so
wash
weird.
a dish every time we use it. I mean,
Dude,
I
you
will
should do
definitely
that.
love
You should do
though.
that.
teach that to your kids.
Yeah, I know. But I'm definitely
Teach
gonna
that to
enjoy
Just
it.
throwing it in the dishwasher instead of washing it by hand.
I will
Yeah.
say I can't wait to go back home and just like bum off my parents for a little bit
Oh,
about
yeah.
like food and,
For
and
sure.
a hot shower.
It's always a luxury.
Toilet.
But the fact that you can like, if
Enjoy that.
anything goes wrong though, like or anything like you just don't like it, you're just like yeah, pick up that van, see ya.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very true. Like, do you want to talk about like your, like, I guess, when you go back home?
Oh yeah, when I go back, it's just straight work.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the living.
Oh. I mean, be living with you.
Well,
Or
okay,
the
so
bus.
they just sold their house, and like so he's having to either stay like in the bus or with I guess like the apartment that they're staying at or whatever.
Yeah, but since it's just my mom and my stepdad, they got a 1-bedroom.
Oh, fair.
And
No, honestly,
My
you find
brother's-
a place to park.
Yeah,
My
that's what I'm
brother's-
thinking.
my
Like,
brother's living there until he goes to school. He was supposed to leave already, but I don't know what's going on with that.
That's what I did actually. I was living in Mount Pleasant with a buddy,
Mhm.
and I was just like, hey, like, I honestly don't know how long I'm gonna be gone, and I'd prefer not to like pay rent for like not being here.
Yeah.
And what was perfect that ended up is that he like bought another house, and he's
Mhm.
like, I'm already moving, so like I'm not that I needed your stuff out, but like I kind of need your stuff
Yeah.
like either to move to my place
Mhm.
like with me or to like move out anyway.
Exactly.
And I was like perfect, dude. So I took all my stuff out, put it back at my dad's, and I was just chilling, living in my dad's driveway.
With the
in-
bus.
that's what I've been
in the
saying.
van.
Like,
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, this is like,
Yeah, it's perfectly
yeah,
fine.
it's perfectly fine. Like, and just like now, just like here, the hardest, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but the hardest part is literally just finding a place to park for the night
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
once I get there, oh, we're chilling.
Yeah.
Like, I got all my
If I
stuff in
can
the
stay
van.
there and nobody will bother me,
Yeah.
we're good.
Well, that's
good.
what I was basically trying to get to the point of like, yeah, that's exactly it. We can just go wherever we want, and if his like he can't sleep in the apartment, whatever, like we can just go park outside,
Yeah,
or
it'd
we
be
can just,
good, yeah.
and drive there and take our entire home and feel comfortable.
One of our main goals though is like finding some cheap land and just parking.
And homesteading.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just don't know where we want to do it yet.
No, for sure.
I'm
That
like-
way
One
you
of
can-
my buddies wants to do that up in like northern Michigan, and he
Mhm.
like his family. I think his like mom or dad or something own like a big plot of land,
Mhm.
and he's like, hey, do you mind if I post up on your 1 acre back that's like 100 yards back or
Yeah.
100 acres back? He's like, I'll just park there, and you guys will never know I'm there. And
Exactly.
he's like, okay, cool. I'm like, that's awesome. He's like, he got his own little. He has a Jeep, so he just parked his Jeep, and he had like a little. I think he had an overhang.
Mhm.
So then it's just like his awning, and he's just chilling.
Chill.
He's like, I'm good there. And I was like, dude, that's so cool that you can just like. I mean,
makes you happy,
Park,
it
yeah,
makes you happy,
mo-
hey.
makes you happy. You can park wherever you want, and you're chilling. Do whatever you
Simple
want.
life.
Simple
And
life.
it'd be great because I mean, if you want to leave, just pick up and
And what's also like so cool is like how life is so simple and cheap. And if you
Yeah.
really are making, he's like an accountant too.
Yeah.
He's a remote accountant. Dude's
He's chilling.
Dude's chilling.
That's
Dude's chilling.
crazy.
And like you're doing your art, you're
Yeah.
chilling.
Yeah.
Like I can go do my work, and I can do this. And like people like to think like if you're living in a van, like are you like I thought, and I'm
Are you
Yeah.
trying not to be like a hypocrite in a sense, but I was
Right.
like
Are you truly working?
are you
Basically?
are you
Yeah,
working? Like what are you
exactly.
doing right now? Are you like I'm on a trip. I saved up for this. I have no income right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they're like in like completely different boat, and you're sitting here like, no, we just got done working. Like this is our little trip away from our work. And I was like, damn, like that's awesome.
Kind of sounds normal, like we.
It's our
Yeah, like
vacation,
and like
for
you guys
sure.
already kind of like, I mean, not that you figured it out, but you figured enough out early, like
think
to where we can survive.
to where you
yeah.
can like, yeah,
I
to
mean-
where you're doing good enough to where you're like, okay, like we can do this.
Mhm.
I will
We just
say,
gotta sustain it.
we had it kind of like, in a way, I was always set up by my family. I was able to like have a studio to work out of.
Yeah.
Thankfully, because my dad had like I was right next to him, and so that really gave me like the drive to be to do more than what was expected of me, which was to be like just a basic white girl who has daddy's money, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's never been the case, and it was
You
I
just
wanna
had the
work for
means. You
myself.
had the means to like.
yeah, to be able to be
Yeah.
free and do what I need to.
To
And on
work,
his
yeah.
case, like he's always been determined to support whoever and however he needs to, and like that's been such an important part of like his life, and then
Yeah.
also in my life, he's doing whatever he needs to do to support us or
Yeah.
whatever.
I've been working since I was 14 years old. I'm tired of working though.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, dude, that's nuts. I was talking to my buddy the other day, and he, like, his family, like, we have just crap ton of farms, obviously,
Yeah.
back where we live. And he's like, dude, what you don't understand is that I've been working since I was 14. Like, I would get home from football practice, and I would go to work on the farm. And I was like, I'd get home from a football game, I'd go work on the farm. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, you're doing all that after school, after all this, like, on the weekends, everything. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, I was so busy as a kid. I was like, that's nuts.
you get exhausted.
Yes.
It
I
does
mean-
get exhausting, but I think it pushes you to do what you like really enjoy quicker.
I
Like,
mean,
In your case, it was like you in a sense had to, but I think in like my case, I just didn't want to end up like depending on a man.
yeah.
I never.
Well, you didn't want to
wanted
depend on
a
anyone.
man.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to depend on even my dad. I'm like, I don't even ask for money. Like it's rare, and I just really wanted to get to that point. Now that I'm at that point, I just want to keep it at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
And I think for him too. Like, I don't want to speak for you, but yeah, like
sorry,
you,
I'm face deep in these marshmallows.
you're good.
Yeah.
But you have never wanted to depend on anybody, and you never have.
Mm-hmm.
You've always been like super independent, and that's why I think we're just independent, and
You want to get shit done.
I think I'm emotionally independent, or I'm emotionally dependent on him, but money wise, I'm not. So I think that balances
Yeah.
itself out. Like I think for,
For
him
sure.
too.
No, you kind of need that though. Like
Yeah.
I need
you
someone
need someone
to
to
be
humble
like,
you down if you
You're
or
good,
something.
babe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's okay. I
Yeah.
need you to come like make me not cry anymore about something. Da da da. But I think also Bus Life has changed me as a person and you as a person. Like he's a lot happier.
Yeah.
I know you're in those marshmallows, so I'm talking for you. But he's a lot happier. I'm a lot happier. And I think Bus Life in general just makes you, like you said,
Yeah.
appreciate everything.
No,
Yeah.
So like, okay, so when was the point like
Just right behind you.
once you started doing Bus Life, was there like a little epiphany that you had where you're like, man, this is really what I wanted to do. Like this is fun. Do you have that moment?
Yeah, when we were at the fire with our friends. And,
Yeah, Sahil and Maggie.
And actually, when we met,
Oh, damn
we
it.
dropped the marshmallow. Actually, when we met, probably Chris and Brittany, and also the moment when we were at the fire pit with Sahil and Maggie, and just like talking about fucking from like acid to aliens to I don't even know what else. Another
Anything.
A word, but
Yeah.
like, I mean, it was just, oh my god, life is just so simple and so good, and you don't have to worry about shit.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like,
All you
that's
gotta do
what I
is
wanna
worry
do.
about talking to the person next to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just dropped a mean ass marshmallow on my hand.
Oh my
Like-
god,
like you
yeah,
see
it's
it.
sticky. No, these are sticky.
Oh wait, perfect.
Thank you.
I forgot those are there.
Like, not that they suck, they taste amazing.
They taste
they're
amazing,
so
but they
gooey.
always
Yeah.
stick together though.
Yeah, don't get Jeff Pope, guys. Not, I didn't know that until today, so.
We weren't mad at y'all for it.
No. They were very good.
That's the only kind they had there.
Oh, yeah.
Like the more off-brand marshmallows we've bought.
Apparently
have
they
been
don't stick to each other. So weird.
Cheap stuff is what you want.
Great value.
Great value.
Apparently so.
Dude, I don't even care. Like
I
that
live
thing
by
is,
great value.
Yes. Just fill it up. If it's $1, I'm in.
You're such a good, like, storyteller. I was talking about it to Justin. I was like, he's such a good storyteller. It blows my mind.
I
Because
wish.
last night you just had such a great energy. I was like, I really appreciate that. Having,
Good. I like that.
I'm an extroverted introvert, so I need someone to like bounce off the same energy.
Yeah. I can do that.
What are you,
That's
babe?
That's
Um,
the podcast in me.
I'm probably about the same because I mean, like she said earlier, I wasn't gonna go up and talk to y'all. I would let them do
I'm
their
like, I
business.
want to go talk to him.
Yeah.
Let them do their business. I don't know them. Like,
Mhm.
but I mean, once you get to know somebody, you start to open up.
Yeah.
I
for
think
sure.
that's how we push each other. Like, you sometimes are like, oh, let's not go talk to him. And some
Yeah.
days, I shouldn't, or like, I don't realize that people are maybe not that great of people.
You just
But then
want them to be,
sometimes
yeah.
I'm vice versa with him. You okay?
These marshmallows are so like sticky on my hand.
And go walk them off.
I don't feel like leaving the podcast.
He's about it.
I got viewers out there.
Yes. No, the podcast thing kind of started when like the whole van life thing started because I was like,
Oh, hell yeah.
if I'm gonna meet people,
You
Might
wanna,
as well.
I wanna
Might as
document
well
that
document
shit.
the
Yeah, might
You'll
as
have
well
to send
document.
this to me or
Oh, for
post it
sure.
somewhere or something.
It will be. I mean, it's gonna be like laid on the list. I have 17 already.
Yeah.
So we're like airing this Friday or this Saturday is number 4.
Nice.
Damn,
So,
you
we'll
got
make
it
sure-
all lined
we'll make
up.
sure- Do you have Snapchat or anything?
Yeah. We'll
Bro,
get you.
send-
We'll get you on there.
I'll talk to you on Instagram and just send me your Snapchat and we'll
Gotcha.
shout you out.
Yes. Good. Love it.
And on Instagram and all that.
Dude,
Yeah, that'll be so exciting.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
And
me
like,
too.
it's and we've gotten to the point now too. Like I do these podcasts, and I'm like, I really don't even care at the end if I post them.
Yeah, you just
'Cause
like
it's
to have
like,
them
I was
for
like-
memories.
I was like, dude,
Remember-
we had this conversation last night, but like now we're like so into it because like we know we're doing a podcast. People like you wouldn't believe how people change the instant we put that mic there. They're like,
Exactly.
I'll share everything I want to share.
Yeah,
Let's
you
do
have
it.
to.
Yes, it's
So
awesome.
you have to elaborate to like
Really get the
full effect behind
Yeah.
it, because I can
Yeah.
sit here and be like, I can show you all these things, I can kind of like give the rundown, but then these people have never met me before, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I want to, and same for you, like give the entire run back of
You want
everything.
to tell your story.
exactly.
Yeah. Like over the hours that we met last night, like we talked about pretty much anything and everything,
Yeah, oh yeah.
but you're not able to cover that in 1 hour.
Oh yeah.
Like
for
it's
sure.
been an hour, and like you have to literally dissect everything.
Yep.
And in 4 hours, I can cover everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 4 hours we can get a lot done.
Exactly.
No, but that's it's fun.
get a sip of that
It's
in a
so fun, and it's cool because this is the first one on the road, and it was like a couple, and it's like, dude, we got the van, like we got the.
Are we the start of a new series?
Honestly,
Van life.
yes. Honestly, we probably do a season 2. I didn't do a season 1, but
Yeah. Wait,
maybe we'll
We
just
should
cut
make it like a show.
Season 1,
Like
season
a-
2, season 3.
do you have digital? Like, do you have a podcast thing yet?
Like a logo.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's currently in progress, but it's like a neon sign in like a dark room. So then
that shit is cool.
it like flicks on, and then it like stays on for a minute, and then on my YouTube it'll just
like,
be
slide.
it'll just stay on the whole
Oh.
time.
That's
It
so
doesn't hum or
cool.
anything like it hums originally.
You should do videos.
I
Like
knew-
people, like videoing us.
Yes,
That'd be really
If it
cool.
wouldn't have been late or anything,
Yeah,
I
Oh
probably would
yeah,
have.
that'd been so cool.
And I gotta figure out the electrical system because like obviously you gotta run the generator to charge everything, and that's annoying as
yeah.
It's annoying as shit. But eventually I'm gonna get to that point. In there, like that whole the side where the bed is, that folds up like a bench, and that is actually gonna be my studio.
Office. Yeah.
So like
That'll be really
like
cool.
my desk will pull around. I'll have my computer and my mic on the computer or on the desk, and then they'll sit in the back corner. And my dad actually did the lettering for like currently in progress on that bench.
Mm-hmm.
I just painted it. So we put it on, and it just wouldn't stick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we're leaving tomorrow. So I'm like, I mean, we'll deal with it later. Like, I'm not too worried
Yeah.
about it right now. If I really get big in the podcast, I'll put this sticker on later, and we'll make
make
it
it
work. Yeah,
legit,
we'll
like-
make it real legit later. I'll get a neon sign, have it in the middle, and
Wear
just
some
be like,
t-shirts
"Curly,"
every podcast.
Yeah.
Somebody comes in, hey, here's a t-shirt.
Here's a t-shirt. Wear this.
Yeah,
But
well-
yeah, like that's the eventual plan. And I've met so many different people like that I wouldn't have had these conversations with already, and one of them super big in California. And I literally got on the phone with him today on Instagram, and he like video chatted me. And I was like, "Oh shit, like what's up, dude?" And he's like, "Hey, I got this other person that that I might be able to get you a podcast with." And I was like, "Dude, you are hunting for this more than like I mean, I'm hunting for it, but dude, this guy's going out of his way to like get me
Yeah, that's so
people to
cool.
podcast with like
dope.
famous people that he knows." And I'm sitting here, I'm like, "Dude, whatever you do, even if something falls through, like the fact that you tried is just awesome."
So cool.
And I'm like, if anything happens, it's awesome. And I can't wait because that's one of the main reasons we're headed to California is to talk to a couple guys that he set me up with.
exciting.
And I'm like, okay, I have to go because he can't talk about this to these people and then have me not show up.
Not show up.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
I
You
just
gotta
met
make it
you, but
happen.
I'm so proud of you. That's so cool.
That's awesome. I mean,
That's
it's
really
always
cool.
great to see people like striving.
Actually, like
Yes.
going for it and,
And, like-
doing that shit.
Especially at Leap, like, because, everybody knows, like, YouTube and podcasts like that is such a leap compared
yeah.
to, like, just getting
Chilling.
getting a career.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
I mean,
so-
I hope it's not like my career. I mean, if it is my career, dope. But like that was never like the intent. Like honestly,
just
the
enjoying it.
conversation like
Exactly.
this is like
But that's what eventually turns it into a
That's
career.
what-
You
yeah.
gotta love
Art
it.
became it was a passion.
You
I
have to
never
love it
I
like
never
that.
had the goal of like
making money off it.
well, okay. When I was younger,
Slightly.
no.
Yeah.
But when I started making money at 12, I was like, yeah, okay, I can do this
I
shit.
can do this, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then it became a business in like 8th grade, and so I was like, okay, yeah, this is happening.
Okay, well, we're gonna not skip over that. Like, explain that a little bit. 8th grade, what are you selling?
Okay, so
Selling
Yeah.
Valentine's
Okay, so-
Day cards and everything.
8th grade was like now I look back at it and I'm like, oh my God, they're $50 paintings. It was awful. It was god awful. I mean, rest in peace to all the beautiful art that now I consider trash. But that I sold, like, it became a small business that I was making like a few dollars.
Yeah.
I guess you could say like over an average month, a few dollars a month. And then it'd be like, okay, so my first real year of business, I started like working my way up to just becoming full-time. So I was working 3 jobs, almost 4 with like teaching kids and whatever.
And how old are you doing this?
I was 17, so I
Okay.
was working like all the time and I was exhausted. We had no relationship because I just worked so fucking much. And I have like, I'm a workaholic, like my
Yeah.
dad, and so my goal I'll get to that point. So, anyways, we get around to like 10th grade and I'm making a little bit more money and my name is getting out there a little bit. So then, long story short, 12th grade comes around and I'm like, I'm quitting my jobs. Like I'm done. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Like I just want to focus on this one goddamn thing. And I was dancing too, and dancing was exhausting for some reason. Like I love it and I enjoy it as a passion, but doing that while doing everything else was just too much.
Too much, yeah.
So I took a leap of like, okay, I'm making enough money to support myself in this lifestyle. And this money was just really low and like,
Well, what were you producing? What were you making?
so it was abstract. It was painting shoes for people. It was literally anything that people would give. So like if you wanted cartoons, I'd do that shit. If you wanted a realistic painting, I'd do that shit. Like whatever would make me money.
Money, yeah.
Yeah, anything that would make me money. So I was making like little to none at 17 and 18. Like that was kind of around
Start,
that point.
right.
And then this year you focus on one thing and that one thing grew. And so my goal when I was a child was to be a muralist, but I forgot about that until literally this year. And it was like, okay,
I want to be a muralist.
yeah,
I
and so,
can't
yeah,
even say that.
no, a muralist. So, and there's this app
Muralist.
called Thumbtack, and so people just hire me, and they pick me out of however many, and like I'll pay for leads, whatever. But I don't have to do jack shit, and like I get leads
Yeah.
because of my portfolio.
Yeah,
So
just
that's
because of
become
yeah.
a real business.
Yeah.
You've already got your name out there. Now you just
Exactly.
wait.
Exactly.
And like
so-
that's kind of like
That's the main goal, though.
it's the main goal. But
Yeah.
like what I always like to think of things like if you're working at like obviously bigger goals, it's like exponential. So like it like obviously at the beginning, for how many years did you do art where it was just like it was just for fun, but had no value, no money value? You're probably doing that for like at least 5 or
Your
6
entire-
years.
No, like I've been painting since I could fucking pick up a pencil. Like I
Yeah.
was writing books, I was drawing pictures, I was my mom forced me into painting
Yeah.
when I was in 3rd grade. We were homeschooled. And she was like, all the kids, sit down and you're going to paint. And so, I mean, I was...
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then we were put into homeschool painting classes, and I was the only one who stayed with it because I just fell in love with that
Yeah.
shit. So, yeah, that
So like
was fun.
that's what I'm saying. Like once you hit that 18, 19
Yeah.
peak, that's when shit started like
Yeah, I think...
because you had that so much, like you had your 10,000 hours of work.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think sketchbooks, like, that was my form of therapy. And so I think once I overcame all of the shit that I was, whatever, like, going on in my mind, sketchbooks kind of were put to the side, and, like, creativity was put to the side, in a sense. And I was like, okay, let's focus on this being a business now, and we can enjoy it later. So, like,
Later,
now
yeah.
I'm just trying to,
Promote and
work.
Now you
And
can
then-
actually work on your personal.
But now I can still enjoy life at the
Yeah.
same time because I'm like making money, but also enjoying the shit out of whatever else I'm doing.
yeah.
Whatever, yeah. Because
the fun part of your job is the fact that it makes it fun to do everything else
I
outside
can do
of
what
it.
I want
Yeah.
too. Like I can pick whatever leads I want. I
Yeah.
can literally decline whoever, and I'm like, oh, you don't have a good vibe? Okay, like pass.
I don't
left.
want to do that job. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm,
Like
I'm
swipe,
chilling.
swipe left, whatever. Or which one is it on Tinder? I don't know. I haven't. Okay,
No, you're
so
good. That was it.
so
He know.
I'm like, I don't know.
Don't point me out like that.
Cut this part out. Yeah, that's about it.
But no, that's awesome that you like that
It's
you got
just
to
always
that
been a
point to
thing.
be like, okay,
Yeah.
like I got and like So obviously, with being an artist, you have that one job that you said you had lined up.
Mm-hmm.
After that job, it's weird because like after that job, do you have another one?
I have
Or-
ideas.
But
So-
you have, yeah.
Yeah, so actually I will have other jobs. Your battery's low. I will have other jobs after that. They'll come, and Thumbtack will just give me them. But I want to I want to invest in real estate and properties so
There
that I
you go.
can,
Eventually just like,
Eventually, just
chill.
live off that
just chill. Like I want to do.
passive income.
I want to buy like a condo, and then rent that out, or like I don't know. I have so many ideas, but like until that actually happens, I have to figure out where my money's gonna go. Cause it's 6 figures, but it's still like on the low side. So I'm like, I have to configure exactly how I want to put it into
Yeah.
a bigger business that
Yeah.
I can just make passively.
Build off it.
Yeah.
You don't want to like waste it, obviously.
Exactly.
let's talk about how good this fire's been for this podcast.
Yes.
I know the fire's
This-
been
yes.
amazing.
We haven't been distracted by it or nothing.
No, it's been fan freaking tastic. We haven't done anything to it.
It's probably gonna how we're gonna end the podcast, but still, like, no, that fire was pretty dope. And like, I only got killed by
This was
smoke.
fire.
Yeah.
This is a fire podcast,
Yes.
right next to some fire. God, that was really corny. Should we just end on that note?
We can if you want, but no, it was definitely super fun doing
Yeah.
this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys like.
We really
stuck
went into
around.
depth.
Right?
Yeah,
This
for
is gonna
sure.
be in your archives forever.
It's gonna be my archives until what, week 18.
Exactly.
I'll definitely have to like read back,
But, like,
listen to it again.
When you make it, like you're gonna look back on those first few podcasts and you're gonna be like, wow. Like,
Oh,
It's trash. Yeah.
Crap. That's so cool.
No, but
That's
it's fun.
really cool.
Thanks you guys.
Yep.
This
Are
is
y'all
cool.
about to head out or?
Probably if he's not asleep.
Yeah.
and you can walk in there, he might be.
Yeah, maybe.
He just said he